Welcome back to the Psychology Guy. Today, we're looking at the ultimate gold standard in personality psychology, the Big Five assessment, also known as the five-factor model. If you've ever wondered why you thrive in chaos while your colleagues need total order, or why some people draw energy from crowds while others need quiet isolation, this is a tool that explains why. It isn't a personality type test that puts you in a fixed box. Instead, it's a highly precise, scientifically validated diagnostic tool that maps out the five core dimensions of your personality and related behavioral tendencies. Why do I need this? These personality models are the best tools for understanding yourself and others better. They help you understand what makes you tick, what kinds of situations you're happiest in, and why and how you can have more successful relationships, both at work and in your personal life. This tool will give you the information you need, and my YouTube channel, The Psychology Guy, will give you the understanding you need to interpret that information for yourself. Where can you find this tool? Well, you can access this Big Five diagnostic tool for free right now on our platform at www.keka.co.uk. Just navigate to the diagnostics section of the Psychology Guy dashboard and you'll find the Big Five assessment ready to go. Using a tool is incredibly straightforward, but it demands one thing: ruthless honesty. Since the only purpose of this assessment is to help you understand yourself better, there's no point in trying to shape the results. You'll only be kidding yourself. The tool comes in two versions, a quick view and a deep dive. The deep dive version consists of 120 self-diagnostic statements. Things like, I'm always prepared, or I love large parties. For each statement, you simply select which fits you the best on a standard 5-point scale, ranging from strongly agree to strongly disagree. It's that simple. The critical rule here is to answer as you actually are, not as you wish you were. Don't answer based on how you act during a job interview or on a first date. Answer based on your default, natural behavior when no one is watching. The quick view takes only 5 minutes, but the deep dive takes about 10 to 15 minutes to complete, but it gives you a lot more information about yourself. Just find a quiet space, go with your gut reaction, and move efficiently through the items. Once you finish, our engine calculates your scores across 5 major traits, commonly remembered by the acronym OCEAN. It shows your results on screen, and it also sends you a copy to your email inbox so you can read your report at your own pace, which is why we ask for your email address. First, openness to experience. This measures how eager you are to try new things and embrace abstract ideas. High scorers are visionary and creative, while low scorers are highly practical and grounded in routine. Second, conscientiousness. This is your engine of discipline and organization. If you score high, you're a driven perfectionist who executes flawlessly. Score low, and you're highly flexible, spontaneous, and agile. Third, extroversion. This measures how you process social energy. High scorers draw massive energy from social interaction and leadership, while low scorers are deeply introverted, thriving in focused, quiet environments. Fourth, agreeableness. This is your social harmony gauge. High scorers are fiercely empathetic, cooperative, and team-driven. Low scorers are intensively objective, competitive, and completely unfazed by friction. And finally, neuroticism. This measures your threat detection baseline. High scorers feel stress and emotions with profound intensity, making them highly vigilant. Low scorers are stoic, calm, and practically immune to panic under pressure. Your results don't just give you a high, medium, or low score. Our tool breaks each trait down into microscopic facets, giving you an incredibly deep, personalized readout of exactly how your mind operates. Can you trust this tool? The simple answer is yes. It's built on decades of peer-reviewed academic science. While many online quizzes are essentially just entertainment, our tool uses the academically renowned IPIP Neo 120 framework. This specific framework was developed by researcher J.A. Johnson, drawing directly from the International Personality Item Pool. It's a public domain representation of the absolute gold standard in personality science, the NEO Personality Inventory, originally developed by Costa and McRae. This means every single question you answer has been carefully synthesized, tested, and statistically validated across many thousands of people. It's highly reliable, meaning that if you take it today and again in the future, your core baseline will remain relatively stable. This is why this particular personality model is used by top-tier academic researchers and psychologists worldwide. Head over to keka.co.uk and discover your baseline today.